Basharu Momodu, thank you very much indeed for joining us. Always nice to see you and to get the benefit of your analysis. First of all, before we get to the meat and potatoes of this interview, I wonder how you reacted to the news that your friend and fellow opposition politician and fellow media entrepreneur Ben Murray Bruce has decided to defect from the PDP to the ruling APC party and to, in effect, pitch his political tent with President Tinubu. I saw a note you wrote somewhere where you said you watched it in utter disbelief.
Well, I watched it in utter disbelief because I assumed that he worked with us with the Atiku campaign during the last campaign. That was my belief. So maybe my judgment was wrong. I mean, he attended many of our strategic meetings and all that. But I give him the right enshrined in the Constitution of Nigeria about freedom of association, freedom of movement. So I don't have any problems with it. Nothing can ever shock me again about politicians. Some people have genuine reasons to move from one party to another, especially if you have some aspirations which you believe will be better served in the next party. But for me, I've seen it all before. In 1993, a few days after General Sani Abacha took power, I think that would have been about November 17th, 1993, there was a meeting a few days after in Chief MKO Abiola's house. And I thank God for my knowledge of Nigerian history. That night, there was a gathering of who is the SDP, the party that won the presidential election fair and square. That night, we saw Nigerian politicians at play, one after the other, be it Alhaji Abubakar Rimi of blessed memory, and some of them, especially Baba Gana Kingibe, who was the running mate to Chief Abiola, they all defected to Abacha's camp. Though early in the morning, I had met with Chief MKO Abiola, and he had mentioned to me that Baba was leaving, but I didn't believe it. That is Baba Gana Kingibe. But by evening, it was clear that Chief Abiola was on his own. It was a case of everyone for himself, God for us all. Since then, I've learned to take every shock or shocker from politicians with uncommon equanimity. So, seeing my friend and brother, a very brilliant, a great orator, Ben Murray Bruce, just walk saunter away so calmly into APC. I wasn't surprised. That is where the road is very smooth at the moment. Those of us in opposition are regarded as very stupid and not smart enough to join the rat race. I listened to a couple of governors who decamped in the last couple of days and weeks. Oh, we want to connect to the center. To the center of what? When did politics become the national grid that people have to connect to as if they need electricity urgently? So it's unfortunate, but I know that anyone who witnessed the Abacha era will not be surprised, and we shall see how it will all end.
Indeed, but just very, very briefly so we can move on, is it your sense that the APC is cajoling and coercing opposition politicians to switch allegiance as the ruling party continues to ride high on these defections?
Yeah, what you have asked is a rhetorical question. You've already answered the question. It's a combination of cajoling, of coercing, of mesmerizing, and I'm beginning to feel that Nigerians have been jazzed by some politicians because the behavior and misdemeanor do not appear normal to me. It's abnormal. People who have no business whatsoever. Imagine a second-term governor. Where are you running to? What are you running away from? You know? So, for me, it's a combination of so many things. But I believe, one, there are those who want more jollification. So those one will go to where the action is. You know, the federal government of Nigeria is probably more powerful than the American president or the American government. President Tinubu is definitely one of the most powerful democratically elected presidents in the history of Nigeria. And I predicted it on a different platform in 2022 that this was going to happen. And that night, a lot of people fought with me that what do I mean that we're dealing with potential dictatorship. But it's clear that someone somewhere does not even want any competition in 2027. So they will do everything possible to make sure that there are no stronger candidates. And unfortunately, the masses in Nigeria are also hoodwinked very easily. They believe that, oh, you are just crying wolf where there is none. And they are telling me, oh, this one is a bad candidate. That the candidate that can take on this assignment is the one that they are trying to destroy, and the poor people are falling for it. That's why I said we have been jazzed. It's obvious. Once you see the ruling party attacking some particular candidates, and in this case, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar and my good friend, the former governor and former presidential candidate, Peter Obi, the way they are being attacked, disparaged on daily basis, you will know that between those two, there is something that the government does not want.
Well, let me pick you up on that, because you recently asked Peter Obi and other presidential aspirants to play what you called the ethnic religious card in order to defeat President Tinubu in 2027. Well, what do you mean by that?
Oh, it's obvious that the ruling government has already turned this into an ethnic battle, and it's going to be a battle of North versus South. That is why when you saw PDP apparatchiks, APC apparatchiks, all of them struggling to insist that a candidate must come from the South, they know that President Tinubu has already locked down the South. And nobody, not Peter Obi, not Goodluck Jonathan, will be able to catch up with him where he is right now. To start with, he has a bottomless pit of resources to pour into this next election. So he has locked down the South. If Peter Obi decides to go alone now, I don't know from which party he can do that. He is no longer in Labour Party. And President Jonathan, since he left power, I'm not aware that he has fraternized with any of the parties. I'm not aware that he has built new structures and he has built upon old structures. So elections are run based on structures. I always say that. Some people will say, no, we don't need structures. But you need structures. You need agents nationwide to protect your vote. Even if you are the most popular politician, for as long as you are not able to protect your votes, you will lose a lot. So that is why I have said they must play the ethnic card using the Isaac Newton's law of motion. Actions and reactions are always equal.